Pastor Philip here. We're doing devotionables, brief devotions for busy people. And I was just reading myself in my own quiet time and through the F260 plan, and also our singles and college students have been going through the book of Genesis. Toward the end of Genesis, right at the end, we get the death of Joseph. And right before he passes, we hear in verse 19, "But Joseph said to them, 'Do not fear, for I am in a place of God.'" And then he talks about that famous verse that many of us know, "As for you, you meant evil against me, but God meant it for good, to bring it about to many people, and should be kept alive as they are today. So do not fear. I will provide for you and your little ones." And he spoke that to comfort them. I just thought about that, just echoed in my brain about, here's the end of this wonderful, beautiful picture. We've got almost 13 chapters of the story of Joseph. And it culminates at this point at his death. And then we have this long period of time where they are in exile, or where they are inside, living in Egypt, slaves, struggling. And then you get Moses, and he leads them out. We get all the way until they're crossing over, and you've got Joshua leading them. And that transition between Deuteronomy and Joshua, we hear these famous words that you've heard so many times. "Have I not commanded you, be strong and courageous? Do not be frightened and do not be dismayed, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go." I just thought this connection all the way back to the end of Genesis. We get Joseph saying very similar words to the people that God would call his own people. So let me encourage you today in this short devotion, as maybe many of you are reading the F260 plan, as we see this bigger picture, this is not the end of God telling us, do not be afraid. Be careful to let fear overtake you, because remind yourself on a regular basis, and as we see this passage today, don't be afraid, do not be dismayed, for the Lord God is with you today, wherever you go. You are part of God's people. He has chosen you, and he will take care of you. And though there may be times where you feel like Joseph, and you feel like that everything's falling apart, at the end of the day, God is working out that for your good. So you do not need to be afraid.